for a minute. Just be quiet.
Name that tune. All right, hellos. How is everybody doing? It's Sunday. How are you? Well, how are you? Try to keep it G-rated tonight. Last one got R-rated, and I had to delete the shit. So I'm like, fuck it all, fuck it all, fuck it all. Goddamn world. How is everybody? Let's see. Welcome, Death Child 7. Hey, what happened to Death Child 6? What did you do to him? Yeah, I understand. Hello. Cool. Welcome, cool dude jamming. I hope you're jamming. This is John. You can't escape the wrath. Dame Celestine, you know what's going on here. Star. White Rabbit, you know what happens here. Ashley Brognan, welcome, love. And the Queen of the Mountain, welcome, Queen of the Mountain. Creamy roll, love. Hey. Yes, we got R-rated. And then I'm like, whatever. I deleted it. Fuck it. I can't edit the shit, so it's like, Well, I guess once they give you an R rating on a video, you can't edit the thing. So I'm like, oh, great. Well, I don't know. What do I do with it? I guess I can keep it up there. I don't know, whatever. Not that we, do we break ground? Probably. No, I don't know. Hey, murder has a name, by the way. It's called murder. Anyway, I love you. Bye-bye. Hey, guys, murder has a name. It's called murder. Anyway. Now, if you're talking about a murder victim, maybe your foundation should be... murder victims have a name. Maybe that should be the name. Not murder has a name. Murder already has a name, doesn't it? Anyway, that's right. Supper's ready, Mrs. John. Supper's ready for you. Fish and chips, by the way. Fish and chips. Correct. You win the prize, Mrs. John, even though I was not holding a contest. I should have held a contest, Mrs. John, but I didn't. I'm not quite sure why I got an R rating. That's like an X rating in film, right? That's like an X rating in film. You don't want an X rating, I guess. Unless you're like Midnight Cowboy. I guess unless like Midnight Cowboy, you get an X rating. Anyway. Or a rhinestone cowboy. Rhinestone cowboy. Oh, God. Hey, quick break. Oh, you wait. I know. But we have to finish these two off, loves. We have to finish them off. We have to finish these two off in this one. How far we get with this? Oh, okay. There's not much left to go on this. We can tolerate another 15 minutes of this. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Hey, Christy, will you shut your fucking mouth? No, I'm not going to a casino this weekend with you. All right. Sorry. Excuse me. Welcome, Lorraine Eyes. Welcome, Lorraine Eyes. What's the number of the beast? Oh, baby. The number of the beast, baby. Oh, my. Hey, what do you want to talk about, guys? We could talk about whatever you want to talk about. We could have a Q&A session. We talk whatever you want to talk about. Why did Brian Kohlberg plead guilty? Why did evil Santa Claus not make Brian Kohlberger talk about what he did? You know, all those pertinent questions. Now look, guys, look. Here's the reasoning. Here's the reasoning. This is why they're the greatest. If you're so afraid of the death penalty, right? You're so afraid of the death penalty, right? That you're willing to take a plea deal to avoid the death penalty, correct? That's the logic here. However, Bill Thompson was the thought is, well, we don't want to do anything to jeopardize the plea deal, so we're not going to make Brian Kohlberger, give a run through of what he actually did that evening. We're not going to make him do that, guys, because we're so afraid that if we put that in the plea deal, that he's going to back out of it. Does that make sense to you, lovely lads and lulls and doos and sugars? Does that make sense to you guys? Look, here's the reasoning, right? Here's the real thought. If you're so afraid of the death penalty, right, and you're willing to take a plea deal, well then, why would you be so afraid to say, well, yeah, this is how I fucking killed these people? Who cares? You know what I mean? You don't have to do it in public. You know, you could say, well, here's what you can counter with. You could say, well, I will tell you exactly what I did that evening, but I don't want to do it in public. I will tell you, but I'm not going to do it in the fucking court. I'm not going to do it in the courtroom. See? But you know what I'm saying? All you have to have here is a little imagination in how you want to put things, you know? But if you're the argument is here, if you're so afraid of the death penalty and you're willing to give up the trial, you're willing to sacrifice your trial, your own trial, to plead guilty to avoid a death penalty, right? Well then, why not? Why not say, well, you know what, you have to kind of tell us what you did that evening then. Tell us. Write it down, whatever. And guess what, guys? Thompson, we know evil Santa Claus. They're so full of shit, these fucking people. They're so full of shit. Well, and this was the excuse that we know what the excuse was. The excuse was, well, he's not going to tell you the truth, and so we're not even going to bother with trying to get him to tell you what he did that evening. That was their fucking excuse, guys. And we all know that, and people against the wall, bullshit. Welcome, my nature dude. Who cares? You're like, well, if this guy's so afraid of being put to death, well, why don't we just ask him, like, what he did that night? And just write it out for us, buddy. Hey, they're gonna be able to tell if what he's writing out for them is real or not. They're gonna be able to check that against the crime scene and the fucking evidence, supposedly, right? Which is, is very non-existent, but I'm just saying. They're gonna be able to line it up with what happened. So if he writes some bullshit fucking explanation, well, they're going to know that, well, obviously it's not real. Okay, well, we're going to go. Then you say, well, we're going to go to trial then, and we're going to pursue the death penalty. If you're so fucking afraid of the death penalty, well, that's what we're going to do. That's probably the only thing I agree with Steve G on here is, we should have had a trial. But anyway, whatever. It doesn't make any sense. If this guy is so afraid of the death penalty, right? Well, then why not fucking, hey, well, okay, you're not going to be put to death, but you got to tell us what you fucking did. I mean, run us through your fucking evening. You know, what did you do from 2:14 a.m. to, no, what did you do from 2:30 a.m. until 5 a.m. that morning? What did you do? Write it out for us. Is it really that hard, Moscow, Idaho? Was it really that hard? Evil Santa Claus. Was it really that hard to ask him to do that? I mean, think about it. Hey, all you have to do is tell us what you did from 2:30 to 5 o'clock in the morning. What did you do? It's only 2.5 hours of your life. For your life. But no, not in Moscow, Idaho. The geniuses they are, the bulbous creation. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, welcome back. Okay, well, Bunny walked. See, there's nothing to compare it to, really. Bunny case is not the same. Just walk into a house. Whatever. Oh, God. Let's see.
I have a good sense of which one is closest to me, or the one that is like my daughter, or that one's a lot like my neighbor's friend. So they're relatable, and it's relatable, right? Yeah,
it's relatable. Sure, whatever.
Kind of what the direction it went.
Whatever you're talking about.
So can we switch gears for just a second?
Oh my God, Master Nate. It's Ashley
Jack?
number 2.
They started dating when she was a sophomore. in
Yeah,
high
it looks
school.
just like her.
I hear that there's a story that goes along with them dating.
So Kaylee and Jack and Maddie, they all were hanging out, but Jack had a girlfriend.
Oh, Jack had a girlfriend.
They were friends with her too, but Kaylee was like, she's not that good of a friend of mine, and I really like Jack. And
okay.
well, that
What?
Yeah, because he's a real fucking prize, guys. Look at, he's a real catch.
And so I think Jack, he hadn't been dating that girl that long, so he started kind of, feeling Kaylee, and Kaylee was feeling him. And then so he had just got a car. So Kaylee, Maddie, and Jack went off campus for lunch, and they got in a car wreck. Somebody T-boned them.
Oh my gosh.
And it wasn't that big of a deal, but an ambulance.
They were glass. They were all cut up. They had glass in their eyes. I remember.
Oh.
Jack Decor was the prize of Coeur d'Alene, I guess. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Just, nobody was like seriously hurt.
Hey, is it true that Kaylee was cutting herself? I think that's a rumor, right?
We get called.
I'd cut myself too if I thought I was attracted to something like that.
The kids
Jesus. Hey, Steve, what are you doing?
We need to get down there and this and that. So we go down
You're
there to the
fat.
emergency room.
Why are you
know,
so
Katie
fat?
is in a room. Maddie's in a room. Jack is in the waiting room. So I think Jack was totally fine with his dad.
Right.
And Jack is just literally like this. And his
so much
dad
trouble.
is just like, you know, and we're like, hello, we're the Gonzalez. And he's just like, you know, and Jack literally is just like sitting there and we're like, this is Jack. And I'm like, I go back and Kaylee like hurt her knee or something like that. So that was the first time that we ever met Jack, was in the emergency room with his dad.
Interesting.
And then shortly after, they were fine. They were all released that day and everything like that. Jack
Weird.
and Kaylee eventually wound up dating. But Jack told the story.
Love at first crash.
Love at first crash.
I think that's
a book title.
You know, Jack told the story that before they were flirting with each other in first period, and Jack would bring in some Pringles or something like that, and he was eating some Pringles, and Kaylee was like, "I want some, you know, give me some of those Pringles," and Jack was like, "They're all gone, you know." And she's just like, wow, like, you don't even like me, you know. So he goes, so the next day I went and bought Kaylee her own thing of pizza Pringles and gave them to her. And then so, you know, during class I turn around and I'm like, give me some of those Pringles. And she goes like this, and that's upside down, it's empty. And he went, seriously? And he went,
You're a fucking pig. That's right.
He pointed at her and then it was like,
hey,
and then
bitch.
she was just like, and then started.
Sometimes you gotta smack a hole.
From that moment on, I was absolutely in love with
that was game on there.
You know, I was like, oh my God, he's telling the story, and I'm like, oh my God, what'd she do? Slap you? You point at her? And he goes,
no, I stabbed her in the neck.
Yeah, that was, and then.
Sorry. Hey, no, I just stabbed her in the face 25 times. A fucking pig. Oh my God, Mrs. John. What did you walk into tonight? Little Miss Piggies. Oh my God. No, I just bashed her face in. Oh my God. Look at this fucking one.
Showing the bling.
Showing the bling. Yeah, fake. Those are fake New York watches. Yeah, you're not going to give him a real watch. Look at this fucker.
Second, this is just too good.
Oh my God. Oh my God, he's going to slit your fucking throat. Get this bubonic plague out of my fucking face. Look, he's trying to count money and shit. Yeah, get the fuck out of my face.
How sweet of him.
He's going to slit your fucking throat. I'm telling you. Oh my God. Mrs. John, I can't believe we're watching this stuff. What are you watching? Oh my God. I don't even know what to turn to anymore here. Oh my God. It don't matter. It don't matter if that's the only sound you can make. Oh my God. What are you talking about? Oh my God. Oh God. Oh dear. He's like, you fucking, hey, you'll cut your throat. Throwing money down at you and shit. Weird. Ashley, why? Why did you do it to me? I'm sorry. Sorry. She looks just like her, Master Nature. I know, Matt. I know, MB. I know. Looks just like her. What the fuck? I can't get away from her. And why are we watching this garbage? Why are you so fat? You don't believe in God, do you? Oh my God, I gotta cut myself. You never know with these Idahoans. You never know what kind of skeletons they have in their closet. Just saying. Anyway, Samantha. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know, guys. What do you want to do? That's right, Fisher Price. That's right, Fisher Price. You know Fisher Price.
And then, they were together, and Jack was part of our family. She was part of his family.
Right.
We incorporated almost any kid that was hanging out with our kids. We even had one of my son's best friends. They moved in for like 3 months while they were transitioning. Oh, wow. So our family's always been a kid that was hanging out with our kids. We even had one of my son's best friends. They moved in for like 3 months while they were transitioning. Oh, wow. So our family's always been a family that is really got along with our kids.
Okay.
And their best friends. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Jack is an amazing person. We have stood by Jack, by his entire family from day one. Yeah. We pulled him into our house when everything was happening.
We knew he had nothing to do with this.
we talked to the media straight out, and we're like, we get it. You got to do your investigating. You got to, he was. And technically the ex-boyfriend, they had just broke up and this and that. So we understood, but we've never, and we have nothing still to this day. Matter of fact, Jack just messaged me yesterday on Kaylee's birthday.
Oh, that's awesome.
He said, I'm thinking about you today. I'm thinking about Kaylee, and let's get together soon and have a beer.
That's the thing is, when you get a case like this, people want to Hollywoodize it. They want to, and they say, well, there's got to be these bad characters, and this had to happen to them because they were in the drugs or they were into something. No, these kids were all innocent. Nobody was doing any shady things. There was no OnlyFans page, whatever you want to say. And Jack doesn't have a mean bone in his body, so it was easy for us to know that he had nothing to do with this.
There's just no way. There was just no way. We're like, absolutely not.
One thing I can say is I've spoken to enough detectives in my life.
Okay.
For all the missteps that this department took, I think in any...
There you go. Welcome, Tony Stevens. Hello. Oh, yeah. Well, hey, whatever. That's what they think. That's what they're thinking. That's what they think. That's what they're saying. There's never an OnlyFans page. I don't know, guys. That's their experience, or I don't fucking know. Here's the problem, though. They're not going to know Jack Decor like Kaylee Gonzalez knows Jack Decor. They're not going to know him like that. So I understand, and they can think whatever they want to think, but they're not going to know him like, of course we know this, right? They're not going to know him like Kaylee knows him intimately and all his moods and bullshit and whatever, So she's going to know him more than her fucking parents. Good, bad, and ugly. Just because he comes off as sweet and innocent to them doesn't mean he's sweet and innocent, as we know. I can present myself to you in a certain fashion that you think every time you see me I'm a sweet and innocent person. Well, I could do that with you, but then when I'm with somebody I don't particularly like, I can present myself a whole different fucking way. Mean and nasty. And verbally abusive to you. See? Easily, right? But once I get around her parents, of course I'm going to be sweet and nice. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to berate her in front of her parents. Well, that would be dumb. Wouldn't it? That'd be really stupid of me. Considering, well, and another thing is here that they were letting him drive one of their cars because he didn't have a car. So the car that he was driving around was actually the parents' car. They owned that car. So that wasn't even his fucking automobile that he was driving around. Right? See, and that is true. But, so Kaylee, so he must have been somewhat close to the family. I would agree with that. Like a little fucking bubonic plague, maybe like a little infection, maybe something like that. It's kind of awkward when you have this person who's close with the family, but Kaylee and him break up like every 4 or 5 months. They must have broken up 4 or 5 times. But it must be very strange though when your fucking parents, I guess, think that you guys are still close together, even though you're not with the daughter, you're not with Kaylee again. So it must be an awkward situation. You know what I'm saying? It would be very awkward. I'm no longer with you, physically and like in a boyfriend-girlfriend fashion. I'm not with you anymore like that. But yet my parents still find you close for some reason. That must be that'd be frustrating to me. Like, hey, mom and dad, stop talking to the guy, would you? Just saying. But anyway, whatever, weird. Like a little parasite. Seems like Jack Decor is a little parasite. He always seemed to be a little parasite. Right? See, here's the problem. You can't give up the Gonzalez family being a parasite that he is. You can't give the family up, her family up, because, well, you no longer have a car. That's number one. You have no car. So you have to kind of be a parasite. As much as Kaylee probably hated it, he had to be a fucking parasite with her family. In order to drive around. Because he didn't have a car. That's number one. So, yeah. And I still don't understand to this day how somebody who looks like Kaylee would be in a tug of war with another girl for him. I mean, I don't believe that for a second. I mean, again, this is not Brad Pitt at all. Yes, it's Howdy Doody. Yes, exactly Howdy Doody. So I don't foresee Kaylee getting into a tug of war with another female over this guy. Do you? I don't. Unless they thought this guy was like absolutely rich or something. I don't know. Like he's the richest guy at the school. I don't know. I don't know. Fucking weird is what it is. I tell you, it's all fucking weird, isn't it? I don't know what's going on out there, but it's strange. It very much is. Oh, by the way, that's the star. You know who that is. That's the star. Anyway, very strange. I mean, no, I'm not trying to be I'm saying. The guy is not a looker. The guy is a bulbous creation. He just happens to have fucking orange hair and shit. You know what I mean? He's an alien with orange hair. I mean, He must have got picked on a lot. I would imagine he got picked on a lot. You know, they talk about Brian Kohlberger being bullied and being picked on in school. But I wonder about Jack DeCour. I wonder if he ever got his ass kicked for looking like a fucking, like a ventriloquist dummy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he totally doesn't look like anybody else in the fucking area. So, anyway. He's a ginger. And not a good-looking ginger at that. Just saying. He's not. Anyway. You wanted the best. You got the best. That is for real. You know it. I know it. You know it and I know it. It's okay. You can weep for me, Argentina. You can weep for me all day and night. Yes, you can. But you won't. But you won't weep for me, Argentina. No, you won't. I know you. What you eating, Gato? No, you eating. What is this? What is this? I don't even know what this is. Where'd you find this? You ain't open that. No, you ain't. No, I don't know what that is. Stop nibbling on that. Go here. Get up. Now you nibbling on fucking pills and shit. Weird. I don't know, guys. I don't know what's wrong with you. What's wrong with you? Anyway, here we are. Now I wanna show you something real quick. Hang on now, just real quick now. You won't even feel it. Oh, I'm just gonna put this in there. Oh, you're gonna like this one, I promise you. Okay. Now, hang on. Hang on. Stall. Hang on. This is Helen of Troy, and I want to show you Helen of Troy. This is Helen of Troy. That is not Helen of Troy. Anyway, let me show you again. This is Helen of Troy. See that? See the statues and faces? You know, That's Helen of Troy. She Greek. She Greek. That is not Helen of fucking Troy. That is not Helen of Troy. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Yeah. And no, I'm not going to watch that piece of shit when it comes out. Absolutely not. Nope. Fuck you. And fuck all. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Absolutely no reason to do that. Fuck you and fuck all. It's ridiculous. And people who are going to go to the theater, I'm just going to say this. People go to the theater and they're going to fucking promote this shit by going to the theater and spending their fucking money on this garbage. It just perpetuates the same fucking problem over and over again. Ridiculous. Oh, dude, let's make the worm fucking Puerto Rican. Why not? Let's give the worm a Puerto Rican accent and we'll make him sound like Cheech and Chong. Why not? I don't know. I'm not watching garbage. And then you know what is, well, here's what the real insidious part about this shit is, okay? The insidious part about all this is that you're taking the source material, you're taking the Odyssey, which, okay, but they're not being upfront with the adaptation that they're using. First of all, they're not being upfront with you about that. So you think you're going to go in there and watch this, faithful adaptation of the fucking Greek myth, right? You think you're going to go into the theater watching that, but no. It's ridiculous. Actually, that should be against the law. You know what I mean? Or at least tell your audience that you're not basing your movie on the classic, based on the Greek fucking writing. At least tell your audience that you're basing it, and again, this is true, you've seen shit for this. It is based on a relatively new adaptation of the myth, and it is totally fucking woke fucking feminism, radical fucking bullshit, feminism bullshit. But Christopher Nolan not telling you that up front. He should say that. This is based, it shouldn't say the Odyssey. It should say, what it should say is here, to make it honest, it should say the Odyssey based on blah, blah, blah's book. See, that should be in the whole title. Just so you understand where the movie's coming from. See, but Christopher Nolan's not going to do that. He's just going to leave it at the Odyssey. See? And when you just leave it at the Odyssey, well, guess what? Your mind is going to go to the original myth. Aha. See? But see, what they should do and what they shouldn't legally make Christopher Nolan do is, in his title of his movie, they should legally make him say, based on the novel by blah, blah, blah. Dig it? See, that way we're not trying to fool people. So then you can look her up. You can look up who the novel, who we're basing this on or what we're basing this on. And you can look the shit up and be like, nah, I don't think so. I'm not going to watch it. I prefer, like, Homer's Epic. Homer? I prefer his work. I don't trust some fucking male-hating fucking trans fucking he, she. I don't trust that adaptation. I kind of want to go with Homer. That kind of shit. We can make a decision. Yeah. Maybe I want to watch Clash of the fucking Titans, and maybe that will satisfy my lust. Clash of the Titans. Huh. I remember that. 1982, by the way. Clash of the Titans. Harryhausen. Hey, remember Harryhausen? My God. Anyway, fags and fays and cigarettes. I'm sorry, I meant the cigarette. I didn't mean, when I said fag, I meant cigarettes. Hey, Mrs. John. I'm sorry, but I did mean a cigarette. I truly did. Oh, I meant this too. Look, I meant this too. Like, fuck off. Like, fuck you. I love London. Hey, London's calling. All right, I love you. It must be the Moroccan mushroom moon dust from Guatemala. All right. You know those Guatemalans, I don't know, they got some funky shit going on down there. And then I was like looking up, and then I was like, wait, is Christopher Nolan Jewish? I don't think he was, but then I'm like, wait a minute, what he trying to do here? And then I got caught up in this stuff, and then I was laughing. Then I was laughing my ass off with this shit. Like, look, watch this. I gotta laugh about this shit. It's funny. It's funny because it's very strange. Now this shit made me laugh. Now check this shit out. You saw this.
Now you know who you are fighting.
A woman? I thought Achilles was a man.
I'm not a woman. I mean anymore. But now I am a man. You want to fight or not?
I love you. Hey, Christopher Nolan.
Just like I thought you were white.
Hey, Christopher Nolan. Is this what you had in mind? Homer is rolling in his grave. Homer is rolling in his grave. You understand? What the fuck? Yeah, like I'm gonna watch. You know what I'm saying? But that's kind of. I know that's exaggerated, but still, I guess That's what Christopher Nolan was going for. I guess. Uh-huh. Weird. I don't get it, guys. But I'm not paying to see it. I'll tell you what. I ain't paying to see that fucking garbage. No, fuck you. Fuck you and fuck you, Chris Nolan. I ain't paying to watch that fucking garbage. Nope. Fuck you. Helen of Troy has always been white. She's Greek. Oh, Jesus. Achilles. Anyway. No reason to do it. No reason to do it. Well, Roland of the Dark Tower comes. Well, Roland's white. Hey, guess what, Stephen King? Remember? Roland is white. He has blue eyes. Right? Isn't that Roland of the Dark Tower? Gee, I don't know. All of a sudden he's fucking black. And a fucking gunslinger. Why? He's perfectly fine being white and have blue eyes. Nothing wrong with that. Stephen King, come on now. I ain't gonna watch your fucking garbage. You know? I'm not gonna watch your fucking gunslinger. You race swap him for no reason. I'm surprised Stephen King didn't race swap Pennywise the clown. I'm surprised he didn't fucking do that. Yeah, let's make the clown black. Why not? Alright, yeah, why not? Who cares? Then what's the point of fucking describing them in your books then? You write them in a certain way. Well, who cares then? Why don't you write them in your books? Yeah, this is it's a human. And you can put whatever skin on them you want. Why don't you just write that in your fucking books, you cocksuckers? But no, you write them in a certain way where we imagine them to be. And then you're like, yeah, fuck it. Eh, I think they're an alien now. Well, they're black now. And, oh. Well, fuck you. Well, Bilbo Baggins is now he's Ethiopian. So fuck you. Why? Nothing wrong with being Bilbo Baggins. You know, a hobbit. Why? I don't know. I mean, we have to turn him into fucking, fucking weird. Why do we do this? I don't understand why we do this. Why? What's the point? Just to piss people off, I guess. Piss them off. Like, why? And then make them ask, why are you doing this? Just make them white. That's what they are. Who cares? That's how they are. They're white. Fuck it. Why do we need to make somebody black when they're not really black? Well, I don't understand that thinking. I know it's to make money in Hollywood with the Frankensteins, but you know what I'm saying? That's the only reason why I think we're seeing that shit. It's because the Frankensteins in Hollywood, they think that's going to make them, that's going to make, I guess it makes them money. But it's totally ridiculous. Okay, I mean, goddamn. But anyway, the point is, I'm not seeing that fucking shit. No way. I'm not watching that. I'm not gonna spend money and fucking, you know, so that shit can perpetuate itself. Fuck you. I hope it loses $450 million fucking dollars. What I hope. So I don't have to see this shit anymore. Ah. It's dumb. There's no reason for it. Whatever. Anyway. Who's lost? Muhammad Ali, you race swap him. See what happens. All right, let's get back to what we're doing. Yes, indeed. Side-tripped. All right. Let's think about how we could race swap Muhammad Ali. Gee, why don't you do that? Nah. Christopher Nolan, genius. Why don't you race swap Muhammad Ali in his interviews if you're so fucking brave? Fuck you. Anyway, yeah. Nah, we're just gonna do it with Homer, though.
They start with the people closest to the victims.
We'll do it with
That's just
Homer.
a natural first step.
Of course.
But that being said, the rampant things that are online on these wild theories that are just
Rampant.
so out there. It's I can't even imagine how you guys deal with it.
I don't know
It hurts
either.
my feelings so
Like
bad.
what?
We are so protective of Jack. At least I am personally, and so does Olivia.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, like they talk about my husband, and I hate that too. I hate that too, or my kids. But I see people say things about Jack and say,
I've heard
I mean, I'm like, oh,
Yeah, I earn it. I embrace the hate because I've always went after the guy who killed my daughter. So if you believe in him, then you're gonna. I want you to hate me because I'm doing everything and I've done everything in my power to put that guy in a death cell. You know, I wanted the guy removed, and I was never playing to any other way. I was like, he did this once I knew he was it. I came at him full guns, and so I've earned that. I've earned those people come. But Jack didn't do anything, and all these other surviving victims have done nothing.
It's horrible.
So it just takes a really shady, bad, flawed character to go after somebody like that when there's no evidence. So, no wonder they're pro-burgers, because, there's probably something there that they see in themselves.
So ready for it to be, like, done. Like, can something come out in a court doc that just, all of a sudden, all these people say, wow.
Click activity
It
comes
really
out
is
tomorrow.
him.
Oh, well, who knows when this comes out, but the click activity, we got a little heads up that that's about to come out.
Yeah.
Amazon click.
But even if he orders it and he hand delivers it to his house and then tries to replace it, the murder weapon that
They'll
kills
still
the
think
people,
he's
they'll
innocent.
still.
I think that this could have been caught on film where you clearly see that it is him, and I still think people would say, it's fake. He didn't do it. He didn't do it.
It's AI.
Yep. Nope, to me it looks like Jack. Doesn't look like him to me, where it's clearly him, and they'll say, it looks like Jack to me. I mean, it just is a very weird.
His car is going up to the house.
Weird.
He turns his phone
Yeah,
off.
you're not kidding.
He bought the weapon.
At 2:40 or 2:53 in the morning. It's
And
like
then after the murders, 20 minutes after the murders, he turns it back on.
a little bit later than that, but yeah, he turns it on when he's out of the area. But yeah, it's one of those things you just try to hope and protect the people around you that you've loved, that have been a part of your life.
That's it?
Right.
20 minutes after the murders, he turns. It's a very weird.
His car is going up to the house.
Weird.
He turns his phone off. College students
He
don't
bought
turn
the
their phones off
weapon.
at 2:40 or 2:53 in the morning. It's
And
like
then after the murders, 20 minutes after the murders, he turns it back on.
a little bit later than that, but yeah, he turns it on when he's out of the area. But yeah, it's, it's one of those things you just try to hope and protect the people around you that you've loved.
And Jack Decor forgets a 17-minute phone conversation with Kaylee Gonzalez. Like that kind of stuff happens all the time too, guys. Like Jack Decor forgetting a phone conversation and he had with her. Right, like, I don't know, 20 minutes before she apparently gets killed, he totally forgets a conversation. Like that? Christy? Hey, did you lose your ring again at the casino? Fuck off. Fuck off. Yeah, sure, because that's totally normal too. These people make me sick. Life of Riley, welcome. I tell you what, they got their own little fantasies going on, don't they? That's interesting, though. They got their own little fantasies they think about. Yeah, we're just waiting for that one document to come out that makes everybody say, yeah, well, see, that's what happened. Well, they know that's not going to happen. They know there's no court document that's going to say that. Thank God. There's no confession. I don't know. They're kind of they are like trolls. They are trolls in a sense. They are like trolls. It's interesting. They know that. See, they're very trollish. Very interesting with them. Very trollish. They know that's not going to happen. But they know that's what people like want to see. But they know that's not. They're very trollish. They play along, which is weird. There's like a play along characteristic with these people. Anyway, it's like, well, how dare you? I know, man. But boy, I wish something would come out in the documents that would convince people that Brian Kohlberger did this for 100%, even though they know that's probably not going to happen. Because they know that Thompson never got a confession and never bothered to say, well, how'd you do this? They know that. Anyway, troll. Oh, these people are difficult to get through an entire interview with these fucking people. I'll tell you what. It really is. It's like literally wanting to go to the dentist and listen to this fucking crap. Anyway, welcome to Equinox. Yes. Like the Hobbit. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, God, annoying. Again, we're not really being interviewed. We're not. There's no. It's stupid. Hmm. I don't know. See. But yeah, it gets annoying, I tell you, real quick. All right. That's right. That's right. Where are we at? Oh, we're only an hour 10 in? Man, it feels like 2 hours. Feels like 2 hours. Yes, it do. Oh, God, these people.
Back on.
A little bit later than that, but yeah, he turns it on when he's out of the area. But yeah, it's, you know, it's one of those things you just try to hope and protect the people around you that you've loved, that have been a part of your life for a long time. And
okay.
you know, we took a lot of heat for sticking up for Jack, and even
We didn't care. We were like,
yeah,
come at us.
FBI and people were like, be careful. But I was like, you know what?
Why would you take a lot of heat?
I trust in the people that I love and have surrounded myself with that we would never be around anyone who would do anything like this. And I thought for sure, and I was warned that, hey, this may be a complete outsider. And, you know, that's what it was.
Sure enough.
Somebody could do everything right, but the wrong character comes into your community and everything changes. And it doesn't have anything to do with your neighborhood. It doesn't have anything to do with your security system or your defense classes.
Doesn't matter.
You just went to bed that night and you ended up in a room with somebody with a knife.
You know, we read things online that says, well, maybe if the kids weren't drunk, they could have fought back. Really? First of all, as far as Kaylee goes, she was .107. She was barely over the legal limit. Kaylee was not a little girl.
She's allowed to be. She didn't do anything wrong. That's nothing wrong with that. She wasn't driving.
But by any means, she was not stumbling. She was not mumbling. She was carrying herself very well. We saw her walking. We saw her talking. So,
she had a professional driver that she brought to,
and
she wasn't driving.
You know, where Kaylee was in that bed, there's not a whole lot you could do. Even with a loaded gun on your, you know, on your side table, when you wake up with a knife, a 7-inch knife being plunged into your chest.
And for these,
what do you do?
These
I don't know. What do you do?
That room.
I'm not sure.
Small.
So small.
That when you open the door, you hit the bed that they were both in. So you could get around that and get in the bed, but you could touch the other wall. So when they say there was 3 people that did this, I'm like, you couldn't even fit them in there. That's how we knew Kaylee couldn't get out of the room, even when she was sitting up and they were describing her in the corner trying to get out. So we're like, she's trapped. She was trapped in that room. She has to go through the person who opens the door just to get out of the room. So some defense class wasn't going to help. She couldn't get around the person who was stabbing and punching and coming at her. So to think that there was 3 people in there, but this is why you go to court. A court, if we had a real prosecutor, they would have showed that these people wouldn't even fit in this room.
Yeah, they would play it out, you know, and you know, they were, you know, under the covers, and Maddie was next to her, and it wasn't like a king size bed, you know, which you know, it was. I think it was a double, so it's not even, you know, doubles are pretty small. And, you know, they were in there together. Kaylee was against the wall. The headboard was against the wall. Maddie was on her other side. And, you know, he was just, you know, reaching over.
He came in and he stood in front of the only way to get out. So,
you know, he came over to the side of the bed, actually, and he was stabbing from the side. But then he eventually did come around because Kaylee's wounds were from the front as well. You know, I'm sorry. You know, I'm not trying to say that Kaylee was perfect and she wasn't drunk. Yes, she was definitely, you know, at a .107, but that is not like incredibly crazy.
I don't even care. If you want to talk about
again, who cares?
Loser. You're a loser.
.80 is where you would get a DUI. So she was a little over the legal limit. But like I said,
we live in a society where somebody can go to bed after you get a taxi driver. You go to bed, and then somebody stabs you to death, and they're like, "Well, it's kind of your fault because I mean you had beers that night.
You shouldn't have been drinking."
The internet is the most unregulated, ridiculous place.
Anyway, guys. Oh God, lots to say there, but jeez, that's what they're stuck on. Oh, God. I think we should go. Where are we at? Oh, my God. I don't know, guys. It's so odd. Boy, boy, boy. Who cares?
place. I mean, the things that I read are just so out there. The truth doesn't exist. It's like just whatever I want to say, I can say.
You know, the only things I could say about the kids that they did wrong that night was not lock their door. But here's one thing.
The door was broken.
Here's one thing.
Oh, the door was broken.
But I know it sounds so crazy to a lot of outsiders, but it is very, very common to not lock your door in this area. I have friends that are like, oh my God, like we would never, not lock our door. I hear it all the time, but it's very common not to lock your doors here.
Defend them, because let's say you're at a college and you're in a house and you're having a party and you're locking the door every single time, but people are coming and going every 3 or 4 minutes. Well, now somebody in the house is having to stop what they're doing, go into the door, unlock it, lock it. You would do that probably like 50 to 60 times in one party or afternoon, and you'd really just say, stop locking the door. People are coming and going, So that becomes a practice, and, it's just a backstory.
I hate that part of it, but I can't, be mad at them or angry with them at it, because there's probably no one they probably do now, but before, I would probably guess that 80% of Moscow had their doors unlocked.
Right. No. I mean, homicide or violent crime since.
Yeah, she has. Come on, guys. She has no idea what she's talking about. I thought it was Dylan Mortensen's job to lock the door. Oops. Well, that was stupid. It was my job to lock the door, but I don't remember if I locked it on that particular occasion or not. And duh. Yeah, whatever. All these things just happen to go wrong, Yeah, they're gonna say, hey, they're gonna say whatever the fuck. They're gonna say whatever. They're gonna, they haven't. They're gonna believe whatever they want to believe. Whatever the prosecution sold them on, they're going to believe it, and they're going to, whatever they're going to do. It doesn't sound like they have any extra insight than anybody else does in this. Doesn't sound like they have any extra insight. Huh. Or unless they're playing really stupid. Yeah, it's even now it seems they're trying to rationalize what actually happened in the case. Even now it seems like they're trying to rationalize. Well, what happened here? Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know either. I have no idea either. And that's evil Santa Claus's job to tell me how this happened. And to this day, they still can't. So, I don't know. Ask evil Santa Claus. Uh-huh. All roads lead to evil Santa Claus. All roads lead back to Rome and Greece and Athens. Annoying is what it is. Yeah. All right, guys. I don't know how much more I could deal with
I come
this.
from a small town. I went to a university, had 8,000 kids on campus. I mean, reason.
It's funny you say that because we're definitely familiar with that. That's part of the Title IX stuff that got incorporated.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we kind of did a deep dive in that because I was just on the campus where Gene Cleary was killed, and one of the things that was happening at the time, our students would prop every door of the dorm open. They'd put a little block of wood or something because it was easier. The pizza guy could get in. So, and that's what ended up being.
All that stuff.
So, and then everything changed. So I feel like until something happens, people's eyes aren't open to what could happen.
Yeah, the Clery Act is what I've tried to describe to some people as we need like an OSHA when something like this happens where we go back and say, okay, there's red flags. This person definitely wasn't unknown. We know that he had been creeping people out all the way back to his high school. And each time he was going through, because he was in a school academic setting, they kind of hid that because we protect our students and we don't want that information getting out for valid good reasons. So yeah, we're like, we need an OSHA type thing and the Clery Act is part of that.
Is there like the single most harmful piece of information that's been out there? Like, is there one thing that you really want to clear up?
You know, I would say it, but I feel like people would just go wild with it. But it really, really, really irritates me because there's some narrative out there and I have no idea where it came from. But there's this big, huge narrative that Kaylee, she was estranged from the family. She hadn't talked to us in, months and months and months. She hated us. All of us were blocked on all of her social medias. She never lived with us. She actually grew up living with her aunt, which is absolutely not true, or her grandma. And I find that that's really funny that they say her grandma because her grandma lives with us. That's my mom. And we moved her in 2016 when my dad passed away. So we had my mom move in with us, so she wasn't by herself. So grandma lives here. My sister lives down the street. And as much as she loves my sister, she probably had not even spent the night at her house since her and Maddie were little girls. My sister would do like camping things in the backyard for them. But it really, really bothers me that people say that she hated us. She hated us. She didn't talk to us. She didn't talk to Olivia.
Well, because it gives them a way to hate us and still like her. So it's a game that these people play. But this is a very close family. We have a massive amount of love.
All right, well, that's fine. That's fine. Well, then the question is, well, so she was living with you. So then you just ask, well, so you're saying if she was living with you, right? So she wasn't living with her aunt. She wasn't living with her whoever. That's fine. But you'd ask her. That's right. 21 days, baby. 21 days. 21 days is a good boundary. Always good to keep the boundaries in mind. Hey, that's fine. But then, so how comes like, well, no, Kaylee wasn't living with them. Why? I don't know, guys. I don't know. Distance. Good. Welcome, Life O'Reilly. I said that before. Distance. All right. But nobody, see, so they're saying, well, I guess she lived with us.
And other families, he lived with us for 4 months while they were moving. there's no drama in our family.
I mean, I've even
No
commented on their
drama.
stuff and showed text messages that me and Kaylee had that evening, that Saturday evening that we were talking, and I'm like, oh, we didn't talk. I was with her when we bought her Range Rover the day before. She texted me that morning and said, Mom, I think I'm going to go back to Moscow. I screenshotted that and said she wasn't talking to me.
So there's no truth to it.
You know, there's absolutely no truth to that at all. She had never been estranged from any of us.
So for me, it's when I go and I look back at what he did before he killed our kids.
Fine.
There was a burglary, a suspect co-worker that said, hey, I think he came into my home. I think he was here. I think he did this. And there was some security that was needed to get them out to the car. I would love for this never to happen. So how do you reverse? I'm an engineer, so you reverse out and say, where were the key moments when this could have been prevented? What father, how can we prevent this from happening to our community ever again? You have to go to these moments, and I think there's some key moments, and I keep going back to those, and I can't let that go.
That were occurring over on Washington side of things, you know, as a student.
It wasn't just random. It was a let-up event.
You know, he was a student. He was also a TA, and you know, some
there
of the
was other girls that were scared out of their minds that he was going to do something to them, and to think that they were being ignored, and he was doing the exact same crime that he does that night, sneaking into somebody's home, and they just didn't pay attention to that, and then that led to my kid being murdered and killed. That's super difficult to comprehend.
I think that, you know, there's a narrative that, you know, it's okay to be creepy. You could be creepy. Just because you're creepy doesn't mean that you are a murderer. Just because you're creepy doesn't mean that you're a raper. I get that. But when you have people complaining about you being creepy, I think it needs to be addressed.
To your attention.
That's
And
different.
Well, that's fine. Prove it out in the civil court.
I worked in the school district for many years, and
Oh dear, fine. Then prove it out in the civil. Prove it out in the civil case. Then prove it out in the civil case. Fine. Then go to trial with the civil case. Go there and see what happens. Go. You know, let's see what happens then. Fine. Right. Fine. They're already trying. They're already like what they're doing here is they're already trying to plead the case in the civil lawsuit. They're trying to plead that case. So. Anyway, whatever. Maybe we should need to fucking put a gag order on him. I don't know. Put a fucking gag order on him. Hey. All right. No, never mind. It's a civil suit. Whatever. It's over. Gag order. You're trying to convince people that you're right. patience runs out. I don't think I have any more patience for these. This. I don't. No more patience. All right, loves. Well, hope you have a beautiful Sunday. And, oh, God. 21 days, 20 days. Yeah, whatever. All right, guys. Beautiful night. Trying to think of an ending song here, but seems to elude me. I don't know. I'm not sure. All right, you guys. No, it squeaks for a reason. Thank you, though. Sure. All right, guys. I'm trying to think of one, though. All right, I'll play this for you. I love you. I've just run out of patience, love. That's all. Run out of patience. I can only handle that shit for so long. You know how it is. Fine, go to trial. Fine. We'll see how creepy things were. Whatever.
Philly cheese.
Whatever. Anyway, I love you. I hope you like this.